Of Timeout Overtime on the Timeout Overtime YouTube network. I'm your host, Rick Arsenal. And before we get started, I'd like to put in a plug for a good man who, without his help, this production wouldn't be possible. That would be Tim Lindley in downtown Hillsdale at Quality PC. Uh, I hate to beat a dead horse, but I'm serious when I say this. Now, I'm not speaking from a script, but I'm talking from the heart right now. I tell you, we are lucky to have someone like this in our area. You won't find a better tech guy when it comes to any issue you have than Tim Lindley at Quality PC in downtown Hillsdale. Uh, whether it be if you're looking for a new computer or a used computer or the computer you got needs some repair, Tim's your man. Uh, he's a very savvy tech guy. Maybe you just bought a new big screen smart TV. You need a setup. Again, Tim is your guy. He's the guy you want to see. Uh, the best tech guy in the tri-state area. Uh, he's downtown Hillsdale at 37 Waldron Street. I'd say maybe about 100 yards west of Howell Street on the north side of the street, right on the alley there. You can't miss him. Get in there, see him, or give him a call at 517-610-5372. Like, better still, get in there and see him. And when you do, tell him Rick sent you. I'd appreciate that. Thanks. Got some bad news to report on. Let's get this out of the way first. Dave Burkett of the Detroit Free Press, I'd say maybe just a little bit before noon today, posted this story with the Free Press. Detroit Lion cornerback Cam Sutton is wanted in a connection with a domestic violence incident in Florida. This is not a good look. I'll read a little bit further here. The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office issued a warrant for Sutton's arrest earlier this month on one count of domestic battery by strangulation for an incident in Lutz, Florida, which is a suburb of Tampa. According to spokesperson Phil Martello, spokesperson for the sheriff's office, said the department responded to a call for domestic violence in progress involving Sutton, 29, and a female around 5 a.m. on the morning of March 7th. The victim suffered wounds that indicated an incident took place, Martello said, and an arrest warrant was issued the same day. On Wednesday, the department posted a message on social media asking for help in locating Sutton. In the post, the sheriff's office said Sutton may be driving a Jeep Grand Wagoneer and provided a license plate number. Martello did go on to say that Sutton is believed to be in Florida, not up here in Michigan. We served his warrant on the 7th because of all the evidence that we found, Martello said. Couldn't find him here in Tampa. Pretty sure he fled. We got a couple of hits on his license plate from license plate readers, but haven't been able to track him down here. So that's where we're at right now. They've attempted to make contact with him. Apparently, he's turned his phone off. They can't get him on the phone. So they've released, our detectives have exhausted everything to try to get a hold of him. And that's why we end up putting the stuff on social media. As for the Lions, they released a statement earlier today on the situation. Quote, we became aware of the ongoing legal situation involving Cam Sutton this morning. We will continue to monitor the situation. We will have no further comment at this time. Folks, for the Lions who, especially the Lions, who consider the content of a player's character every bit as relevant as his ability on the football field, you would have to assume Sutton is done here. He had 2 years left on his contract. And I don't know if there's a gross misconduct clause in his contract or not, but you would assume he's not just done with the Lions, but the NFL, period. That the ultimate decision of that, I suppose, is up to Roger Goodell. So we just hope tonight, wherever Sutton is, he's okay. Comes to his senses, surrenders to the authorities. There can't be no good outcome on this. You would think, too, you would have to assume that our judicial system as you know, is innocent till proven guilty. But you would have to assume um, if he was innocent, he'd stick around and cooperate with the police and try to clear his name. It's a bad look, and that's sad. I suppose the good news coming out of all this is the fact that it happened before the draft. Uh, the Lions were looking at four positions that they probably would have to fill and do it through the draft, and that would be quarterback, which is what Sutton is, edge rusher, offensive lineman, and wide receiver. I know Daniel Jeremiah put out a mock yesterday at 29. He had the Lions taking Kool-Aid McKinstry, the quarterback out of Alabama. Uh, Keep one thing in mind, too. Due to all of the maneuvering that Brad Holmes has done in the last couple of weeks, he's got extra draft capital for the draft next year, which, by the way, I think is being held in Green Bay. He's got an extra fourth-round pick. He got an extra third-round pick. It's a compensatory pick they got for losing Jonah Jackson to the Rams, and they've also got an extra sixth-round pick. They got one this year and one next year. They got that in the Cameron. They got that in the Davis deal. Yeah, from Tampa. No, if they wanted to, he's got the ammunition to move up right now, either 29 or 61 or 73. If there's a guy they want and he's 3 or 4 spots ahead of where they're drafting, they can move up to get him. Quarterback, yeah, with Sutton gone now, then that might be a more pressing need there. And the whole thing is sad, but why do so many cases have to end like this or come up like this? Well, too, maybe that explains why Sutton had such a bad second half. I don't know. You want to blame Brad Holmes? He signed him last year to a free agent 3-year contract. You want to blame Holmes for not doing his due diligence? No, I don't. Not really. So that's where that's at right now. Now the good news for the Lions. I think maybe a couple of hours after I got off the air Monday, today is Wednesday. The Lions had announced that they had replaced one Pro Bowl guard with another, that being Kevin Ziegler, late of the Baltimore Ravens. I'll tell you a little bit about Kevin Ziegler. He was a Pro Bowl alternate this year. He's 34, big guy, 6'4", goes about 340. He's had a marvelous career, played right guard his whole career. He's durable. I think in the last 9 games, he has only missed, in the last 9 years, he's only missed 5 games. He's an excellent pass blocker. Since his rookie season, I think he's only relinquished 3 sacks or less in every year. That's pretty darn good. He might not be quite as good a run blocker as Jonah Jackson, but it's a good signing. In fact, I was shocked when I heard it. I knew the Ziegler wasn't staying in Baltimore, but I didn't think he was coming to the Lions. Another player, they're getting a very good person. He's a good human being. Anybody that saw his Zoom press conference yesterday, this is one good guy. So I can say, welcome to Detroit, Kevin Ziegler. And as I said, he's played right guard his whole career. So let's assume that Graham Glasgow is going to be moving over to left guard. That's another reason they signed Glasgow. He could play either center or both guard spots. Yeah. Are the Lions better now than they were a couple of weeks ago? Sure they are. Yeah. So welcome to the fold, Kevin Ziegler. Welcome to Detroit. We're glad to have you here, big guy. The timeout crew went to the Red Wing game last night. We had a good time. The Wings, as usual, came out, stuck up the joint in the first period. They got booed off the ice. They were trailing 2-0. I don't know what happened during that first intermission, but they came out with a little more of a jump in their step in that second period. As I said, they were down 2-0. 5 minutes into that second period, the game was tied. The Wings were all around the net. And the goalie, I'm sorry, I can't remember the goalie for the Blue Jackets. was standing on his head last night. So it came down to 12 seconds left. The Wings pulled the goalie, scored. And I was telling the guys I had never seen 3-on-3 overtime hockey, so I was looking forward to see that live and in person. And less than a minute later, the game was over on a goal by Patrick Kane. Wings won. Who cares? So we had a good time, and that was my first experience ever at Little Caesars Arena. It's magnificent. Beautiful. They sure did a good job of that. Uh, Tigers won today. They beat the Twins 12-3 down at Fort Myers. Great outing for Casey Mize. He went to 4 2/3 scoreless, 2 hits. I think he walked a couple, struck out one. Casey Mize's spring ERA, by the way, is now 2.35. Like I said, he went 4 2/3. Alex Faedo, again, who's had another great spring, pitched 1 1/3 scoreless innings with a strikeout. Alex Faedo's spring ERA, folks, is 1.36. I think this is what you could see early in the season for the Tigers. I think Faedo's made this team. You need 1 or 2 guys down here at the bullpen capable of pitching multiple innings, and Faedo can. And this game today, I think, is not unlike what you're going to see early in the season. You could see Mize or Reese Olson pitch 4 or 5 innings, and Faedo come in behind him, pitch a couple of innings. Then you bring your late bullpen guys in there to wash up. I will make my Tiger prediction this Saturday morning on the Timeout Show with Andy Brown on 92.1. I think we're all going to make our predictions Saturday. So give that a listen. 9 to 10 Saturday morning. As I said, on 92.1 FM WCSR here in Hillsdale. It'll be kind of our Tiger preview, I think. Yeah. A little bit concerned. I didn't, obviously, we were gone. I did not see the game was televised last night against the Phillies. I think rare that you see a scoreless tie in an exhibition game, but there were no runs scored last night. Tiger pitching is magnificent, and I know it's just the exhibition season. But yeah, what are the Tigers now? 16-8. This is the best spring I can remember them having down there. And we finally know. By the way, I took a little peek at what the weather forecast. The opening day is a week from tomorrow in Chicago, the 28th. Took a peek at the weather forecast for Chicago that day. And it's going to be dry, partly sunny, and I think a high of 47 or 48. We'll take that on opening in March in Chicago or anywhere in the Midwest. You'll take that. And they are facing. We finally know who they're facing too. By the way, a fellow by the name of Garrett Crochet. 24-year-old left-hander. He's made 72 appearances in the major leagues, all in relief. So he'll be making his major league debut. Let's hope he's a little nervous against, of course, Terry Skubal for the Tigers. Next Thursday, the 28th in Chicago, I think the game time is 4:10, something like that. No. Well, it's hard to believe baseball is here. By the way, in case you missed it from early this morning, the Dodgers in Korea beat the Padres 5-2. They're playing again tonight, I think. And I think it's a 2-game series. And once that's over with, they'll come back to Arizona and resume the exhibition season. What is the purpose of all this, folks? Why are they doing this? You talk about insanity and all the travel and everything else involved in this. To go over there and play 2 games within a span of 24 hours. I don't get it. Major League Baseball wants to go international, maybe, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, it was the debut for Shohei Ohtani for the Dodgers. I didn't see his numbers. I think he had a hit. That's another thing, Dodger ticket prices. I'm going to talk about that. But is that it? I think that's about all we had to cover. Michigan State is playing in Mississippi State at noon on Friday. Oakland University, the only other Michigan college in the tournament, got their hands full with Kentucky. I think they play tomorrow. Yeah. And then, of course, there's another sad case of the Michigan defensive line coach, the new defensive line coach, who was only on the job for about 10 days, and he was busted for DUI. Apparently, that was the third offense for him. Uh, he's more than likely all done there, too. So, sad. It's sad. You just hope he gets his life together and get some help. He obviously needs some. So, have we covered everything right now? I think we have. Yeah. Pistons. I'm not going to say anything about them. Lions, Tigers, Red Wings. By the way, the Wings are now what they've got 76 points. They're 1 point ahead of the Capitals, who play the Maple Leafs tonight. So if the Capitals win tonight, they could go back ahead of the Wings. Wings have played 69 games, the Capitals 67, so they got a couple of games in hand. Wings have a big game tomorrow night at home against the Islanders. If they can beat the Islanders tomorrow night, they'll go 5 points ahead of them. That's right. Uh, and you remember it was the Islanders who beat them here just a couple of weeks ago and started that 7-game losing streak. Pardon me. It's a big game for the Wings tomorrow night. Must win. Now I think we've covered everything. And before my voice goes, I've got to get some tea and honey in me, or I'm not going to be able to talk at all. Uh, that's about it. That's it. Don't forget the Timeout Show with Andy Brown and Jed McNair Saturday morning from 9 to 10 on WCSR 92.1 FM. And I will talk to you again in a couple of days. Until then, so long, everybody, and take care of yourself. Bye-bye.